Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Kelly, and we're going to take a look at a Bible story together. We had a Bible story about Paul and his friends and how they had been traveling to Macedonia and Philippi and telling the good news to everyone. So now we're going to continue with another story about Paul. And this time I'm going to read our story out of the Beginner's Bible. And it is from the book of Acts, chapter 16. And it's called Paul and Silas in Jail. Well, it says, Paul had a very good friend named Silas. They went near and far, telling all about Jesus. Many people believed and became followers of Jesus. These people were called Christians if they believed and followed in Jesus' teachings. But some of the people did not want to believe. They did not want to hear about Jesus and all of his good works. They did not want to like Paul or Silas. That's really sad. So here's a picture of maybe what Paul and Silas looked like in our story. And then here are some of the other people. Some are listening, some maybe don't want to listen. Well, let's see what happens. Let's find the next page. It says, in one of the towns that Paul and Silas went to, they got really angry with Paul and Silas. These people were not very nice, and they put Paul and Silas in jail. But Paul and Silas did not worry. They knew God was with them everywhere they went. Even in jail, they knew that God would be with them. So do you know what they started to do when they were in jail? They didn't get upset. They didn't get mad. They didn't give up. They started to sing, actually singing in jail. They were praying in jail and singing songs to Jesus and God. But here they are in jail, and they're not crying. They're not mad. They're singing and praying wonderful songs to God and Jesus because they know that their hope is in Jesus. Jesus will take care of them. Well, the other people that were in jail also, they started to listen. What is going on? What are they doing over there? Why, they're singing and they're praying and they're singing while they're in jail. Well, they kept listening to this. And about midnight, the middle of the dark night, something happened. There was a giant earthquake, a huge earthquake, and it shook the earth and it shook the jail. And the chains on the prisoners that they had put around the prisoners broke off and just opened up. The chains were off of the prisoners, and the doors that had been locked flung open. The locks opened up, the doors flung open, the chains fell off. It was a miracle. Well, the jailer who was supposed to keep all the prisoners in their jail cells, he woke up and he ran over to the jail. He was afraid everybody had run away and gotten out of the jail, and he would be in big trouble for this. He ran over there to see what was happening and if everybody had ran away. But Paul and Silas called out to him, and they said, "We are here. We did not run away. You're not going to get in trouble. We are still here." Wow. Paul and Silas could have ran away, but they did not want that jailer, the person in charge of keeping them in there, they did not want him to get in trouble. So they stayed there. They said, "We are still here." Well, the guard could hardly believe it. These men were singing in jail. They had the chance to run away and they didn't. He knew there was something special about Paul and Silas, something wonderful and good about them. So he asked them, "What should I do? What should I do so that I can be like you? So I can have happiness always, so that I can love Jesus. What should I do?" Well, Paul and Silas told him, "Just believe in Jesus. Just believe in him and let him live in your heart. Learn all you can about him and believe in him. And that guard said, I will. I want to believe in Jesus. And so he said, come to my house and I will take care of you. So the guard took Paul and Silas to his house and he took care of them there. And then he and his family were baptized. They wanted to be baptized to show that they were followers of Jesus and they wanted Jesus in their lives. And you know what happened the next morning? God is so good. He did that miracle to open up the jail cell, to break those chains, to let the people go. He also, the next morning, he changed the hearts and the minds of the people who were in charge of the city. And the city, they said, Paul and Silas, you are free to go. You can leave our city. They did not put them back in jail. They let them go and they were free. And because of Paul and Silas, the guard and others in that city had their hearts changed and their hearts became full of love and God and joy and goodness. Paul had taught them the good news about Jesus. Because of what Paul did, they changed their ways and they believed in Jesus. They believed in God and they had much joy and goodness coming from their hearts now. So Paul and Silas, because they obeyed God, they were able to help so many people. And that's a beautiful story about how we can have Jesus in our hearts too, and we can share the good news with others. And whenever we might be a little bit frightened or a little bit worried, we can always pray to Jesus and ask him to be with us, to wrap his arms around us and give us comfort and peace. Okay. So I love everything that Paul did for the people around him, and he didn't stop at that town. He kept going to more and more towns telling the good news about Jesus. And you can find this story in the Bible in the book of Acts. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.